Hello everyone and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Guapish Rule 34. As always, I'm your host Tanner, and today I'm joined by our very elected co-host, Nico.
You know full well that was not elected. My position here was paved in blood, dude. It was paved in blood. I don't deserve to be here, honestly.
Okay, you're gone.
Okay.
And replacing him in our democratic succession system, our other co-host, Jackson.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, the audience?
Unfortunately, in order to hold office, you must be able to speak English, so I'm going to have to fire you as well, which means I'm relying on my last co-host, Dillyn.
Yeah, red-blooded American here. Know absolutely everything there is to know about politics in this. Yeah.
That's right. As you guys may have been able to guess, today we are doing an episode purely meant for my own entertainment and no one else's. We're doing a politics episode. So, what I've got here is I have the I Side With quiz. This was a quiz created by what's his name? Gary Johnson, who was a libertarian candidate back in 2016. He created this quiz so people can take it and know what political parties and politicians line up with them the most. And I'm going to use this to figure out what Dillyn does and doesn't know about politics and then explain it to him.
Let's go.
And it'll help him and by proxy all of you watching into more informed citizens. So we're just going to start right off. So Dillyn, do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare?
I mean, isn't this like the really expensive healthcare that everybody was complaining about? Like, it was basically, you had to have this, but it was also super expensive. Isn't that what this was, if I remember correctly?
That's more or less accurate. People complain a lot about it, but also there will be riots in the street if they ever try to get rid of it. So it's a real damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario.
I mean, I like how the government was trying to provide healthcare for everybody, but I think that it should have been more considerate of, the financial stance and well-being of others, and not just like one solid plan, unless I'm misunderstanding how the plan works. So as far as support, I mean, I don't even use healthcare, so that says a lot. But, as far as this goes, I mean, sure, as long as the government's trying to take care of its people, I think that's all that really matters.
Okay, that's interesting. That was a lot of negative statements to then be followed by a yes answer.
That's my thought process. I don't know what to say.
Okay, how about, should the government require employees of large businesses to be vaccinated from COVID?
No.
There you go. It's pretty self-explanatory one right there.
Yeah.
Should the federal government increase funding of healthcare for low-income individuals?
So, because I know we've talked about healthcare before, and it's like, people are like, well, it's free in other countries, but it's also like those countries have to wait like months to actually get their doctor's visit. To increase funding of healthcare, I mean, people also have to realize, not a ton of people really fully understand how money works. So if they're going to increase funding of healthcare, they have to decrease the funding of something else. So, and, I think that needs to be taken into consideration. So, increase the funding, I mean, I think people have the right, not entitled, but have a right to take care of themselves, and healthcare should definitely be one, because the well-being of our populate is kind of important. So I would say yes.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Now we have the option to get more questions in this sort of category. I'm going to be honest. I personally don't know much about healthcare. So even if we do more questions on it, I'm not going to be able to describe much of anything to you.
That's fair. I'm not opposed to that.
So I'm just going to move on.
I'm a big fan of
the
the other stances option when doing the yes or no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Should we default to that? That's probably a good thing.
Dear God.
Potentially.
I know that at least for me, I was usually going somewhere in there because I feel like there's typically a lot more nuance.
There's usually some asterisks you want to throw on most of this stuff.
Huh.
But how about this? Should illegal immigrants have access to government-subsidized health care?
I think it's one of those scenarios where, because obviously, people come to America for a better life, but I also don't think it's just a great idea to just dish out free stuff to whoever shows up. It's like being that rich family in the cul-de-sac. Like, all the kids show up to your house, and unless you can actually afford it, you shouldn't do it. Let's see, what is it?
Yeah, some of the other stances options they got. Yes, if they pay taxes. Yes, and grant them citizenship. Yes, but they should be deported after treatment. That is probably the harshest option, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's just rude. Yes, but only for life-threatening emergencies or infectious diseases.
Well, no, Tanner, I don't think you need to go and run through each and every one of them. There are going to be a lot of these things.
I think probably, I would say for life-threatening emergencies or infectious diseases, my stance was also going to be like, once they earn their citizenship or something, or they have a large standing within the country. So so I'd say,
that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm on the side of no, and I'd probably also say no, and we should deport all illegal immigrants.
I feel that, dude. Base as hell, bro.
Jackson and Nico, just so that I'm not excluding you guys this entire episode, where do you guys stand?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think they should be deported. Get them out of here, man. Get them out.
Yeah, I think it's really fucking stupid to waste taxpayer dollars on illegal immigrants that most likely aren't contributing to the, the state. Like, I know there's a lot of states have state income tax, well, not income tax, but sales tax, but that's like really all they're doing with it.
Yeah.
So they're basically just leeches. I don't want to fucking deport everybody. That's going to be a fucking legal nightmare and a huge PR disaster, but I think we should definitely fucking cut off as much of the new illegals as possible.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. Should the U.S. build a wall along the southern border?
No.
Speaking of...
No, really? Just flat out no?
This would be too costly and ineffective.
We've already built 50% of it.
Oh, well, I mean, I honestly think, here's the thing, is if people really want to get somewhere, they're going to find out a way to do it, regardless of whether or not there's a wall there, alright? They just got to think of more creative ways to do so.
You just gotta dig under the wall, okay?
So I'm gonna go with that one that it says no, this would be too costly and ineffective.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from, Dillyn. Personally, I think it will deter some illegal immigration, and also, I think having the symbolic value of saying, hey, we don't want you here, will also deter some people.
I mean, that's true, but a lot of these people are already aware that what they're trying to do is wrong, but they're doing it anyway, is the thing.
That's fair enough.
Bastards.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the wall?
Look, Tanner Nikolai, if the Great Wall of China wasn't able to deter them Mongolians, what makes you think some Mexicans trying to cross our puny little wall, what makes you think that'll be effective at all?
I thought the Great Wall of China, worked for hundreds of years.
It can't even be seen from space. What are you talking about? It worked.
The Mongolians took Pogo 6. We had no chance.
That's crazy.
Nice.
That was racist.
Okay.
I support the wall generally, I think. Obviously, it's not going to stop everybody. There's a million and one ways to illegally immigrate to the U.S., but it's going to stop the fucking people that aren't working to get in there hard, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, the ones who are ready to just give up and go home.
Yeah,
Also,
which is a pretty large portion.
Just think of the people that are...
steel fucking wall.
Yeah. Well, oh, wait, steel wall?
Yeah, like a big metal wall.
Damn,
I don't know what
metal.
What do you think it was?
I mean, that's what they were doing, right? It was
fence.
I think what they were doing in most parts of it, where it was just like a big steel sheet.
Oh, I just thought it was a big ass concrete wall. I don't know.
I tell you what, we should go and immigrate to their country and see how they like it.
I'm sure
that's
they
actually
wouldn't care.
happening, and it's actually going poorly. No. There was a story in some Mexican newspaper where they were complaining about Americans moving to Mexico City and not speaking Spanish.
Oh my gosh.
It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
You're telling me they're moving to a foreign country and they ain't even learning the language?
Yeah, who'd ever, think to do that? Should undocumented immigrants be offered in-state tuition rates at public colleges within their residing state?
Now, when it says undocumented, I think that means that's the same context as illegal immigrants.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
No. If I'm not even getting... No. I say no.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't like. We don't give them benefits. You know.
Yeah.
You're just incentivizing that behavior then.
Excuse me, why do in-state tuition rates even exist in the first place?
That's true. I agree with that. That seems kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Is there more to in-state tuition rates that I'm reading? Does that mean something I'm not fully grasping?
I think the big thing is that they want to keep people in their state because they want you to contribute to the state's economy, so they're giving you an incentive to do so.
Why? But it's like a thing at all colleges. Why would ones in like low population states prioritize people from that state?
I don't know.
I'm looking this up. This is probably some crazy conspiracy, right?
It's all a money laundering scheme.
It sounds like I'm not fully grasping what the actual definition of this term is, so that's why I wanted to make sure.
So Dylan, like, if you were to go to a fucking college in like California or something like that instead, because you aren't a resident of California, you'll be paying like a $20,000 extra or some shit like that for your tuition.
Yeah, no, it's something crazy.
Why?
That's what we're asking.
Oh, there's no reason. Okay, that's cool.
They just do it.
No, that's fucking stupid as hell.
What does this say? Out of state is the real rate. In state offers residents of the state a subsidized rate since they have essentially already paid a portion of tuition based on their state taxes. Is that true? Schools are primarily state funded, not federal, which gives emphasis to the point that the national government does not directly affect the tuition rates. In reality, the federal government does heavily impact tuition rates and stuff. They just do it through indirect ways, which gets really weird and complicated. I thought, what? Your colleges? Oh, public colleges do. I guess that makes sense then.
Yeah, but like you'd still be paying to like help out the college from your state anyway, so like then you're just not benefiting anywhere.
Well, no, it's because it's state taxes that go to state schools.
That's true.
But
and
like
I think it is a thing that private schools don't have in and out state tuition rates.
Okay.
I think. I'm kind of understanding it now. Okay. Sure.
Kind of
that
makes
sense now. But also no to immigrants, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see some more immigrant. Let's see. Should children of illegal immigrants be granted legal citizenship?
Isn't it like the rule that if kids are born in the United States, they're automatically granted American citizenship?
Yes, that is a concept called birthright citizenship.
Is that something
it
we
was
could
started
just
to help
undo?
the slaves, Dylan.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What document is it in? That helps me a lot.
Because they were like, we can just kick them out of the country. They ain't citizens here.
I don't know what document it is, but yeah, that's the rule in America where anyone born on like within American borders is automatically an American citizen.
The only issue I see with this,
yeah.
The only issue I really see with this is like, say like the parents have the kid. Like I know some, like I've heard some cases and stories where it's like the parents will just have the kid in America before they get deported, but then the kid gets to stay in America, but the parents go back to their home country. And at that point, it's like, well, what the hell was the thought process there? Because then what, the child gets cycled through like adoption clinics and all that? Like what's the purpose of that? So it's like I want to say yes, but also it just creates a fucked up cycle. Like kids going through adoption have horrible. Not always. They sometimes have a horrible time going through life, and it's like you don't want to send the kid back, but also it's like the kid's not gonna know till they're older regardless. So
yeah, it's really tricky for me. I'm kind of half and half on if birthright citizenship should be a thing or not. Like the simplest system would seem to be like if both your parents are citizens, you're automatically a citizen at birth.
Right.
But also, like, birthright citizenship has already been around for so long, and that other thing would also create weird fringe cases. So, like, I could really go back and forth on it.
Should children have... I'm just gonna say yes for now, because it's already something that's happening. But yeah, my whole like stance and idea where it's like, sure, the kid gets born in America, they're automatically an American citizen, but say the parents get deported back to their country, well, then what's the kid supposed to do? Just get stuck in adoption clinics and stuff for the rest of their life? And, you know, sometimes that doesn't always turn out okay. The kid probably would have had a better life growing up with their parents. That's usually the case, but I guess it depends on where the parents are
Probably.
from.
Yeah, I don't know. What about you guys? Do either of you guys fall hard on one side or the other?
No, this is super nuanced.
Okay.
I think it's irresponsible of the parents to
do
that
yeah.
knowing what's going to happen. I think it's really fucked up of them to put their kid in the scenario, but I also don't think the kid should be punished for the actions of their parents, which makes me lean more towards I think it's totally fine. But obviously, I'm still not. I like morally don't. It doesn't sit well with me, even though it makes like sense.
Yeah, I get you.
As soon as one of them little immigrant babies are born onto our land, as far as I'm concerned, they ain't got just red running through their veins. They got white and blue as well.
Okay.
That'd be the white blood cells, the oxygen in the blood.
Is that the parents,
factually correct statement.
The parents just like to think that, because like being an American is like a global status kind of thing. So they're like, well, if my kid's an American, then they automatically already have a better life, which isn't true. So that's the other big issue.
Well, I think a lot of them hope that if their kid is an American citizen, that the court system is going to be like, well, fucking, we can't just split you and your kid up, so I guess you get to stay.
Yeah, and that's.
I don't know if it works out like that very often, but that's what their idea is.
I think that's what that once it says. It's one of the yeses. It says yes, but it should not grant their parent citizenship. Does it grant the parent citizenship if their kid is born in America? Is that a thing?
No, it doesn't. That's not a thing.
Yeah, I don't know why that would.
I don't know why that would be an answer.
I think that's someone who wrote in an answer arguing against something that they think some other people might think, but whatever.
Weird. Okay.
Should sanctuary cities receive federal funding?
Not entirely sure what a sanctuary city is. Is that like a hobo thing?
No.
Yeah.
Close.
Hobo, come on.
A sanctuary city is essentially a city that has said, we're not going to help like federal law enforcement catch illegal immigrants.
I mean, federal funding really only, as far as I'm aware, federal funding provides for hospitals, parks and museums, national highways. I don't know if it's just roadways in general or not. I think some of the roadways fall under the state's designation. I mean, and so what? Like the city itself gets to decide whether or not it like wants to catch illegal immigrants, or like is it the state or?
Usually what happens is you have, like, ICE, who's the agency in charge of enforcing immigration laws. Usually what they'll do if they're going to, like, perform a raid to catch a bunch of illegal immigrants, or if local law enforcement has caught someone who is an illegal immigrant, they will go and request to work with the local law enforcement since they have more manpower. Sanctuary cities basically say to their own police departments, hey, you're not going to work with ICE. So just, like, not comply with them.
That falls under, like, the thing that's, like, in America, it was supposed to be, you know, the voice of the people and everything. But that falls under, like, the whole illegal immigrant thing. It's like, if people are gonna come into America, it's not like it's impossible to do so. There are definitely legal ways of doing it, just people choose not to. And it's usually because the activities they choose to partake in America are not of the legal sort. So, I don't think it's right for people to say they won't catch illegal immigrants, because usually the terms of them being there are because they are, like, not to be, like, play on words, but they are, in fact, doing illegal activities, and that is why they're in America the way they are. So, I think I'm actually going to go with no, and we should ban the use of sanctuary cities.
This went in a completely different direction than I could have ever anticipated it taking, and I'm all for it.
I agree with you, Dylan. I think but for me, it more comes down to, like, either everyone in the country obeys the country's laws, or there's no point in having laws at all. So, like, having entire cities that are just like, I'm not gonna do that one. Like, that literally just ruins the whole point of having a United States in the first place.
I mean, it does get a little gray when people start picking and choosing. It's kind of like being a kid when you're eating dinner. It's like nobody wants to eat their vegetables, and you start picking and choosing, and then it's just more difficult for everybody. But it's like the other side of that coin is like everybody's like, man, if there were just no rules, that'd be perfect. And, like, the movie The Purge is, like, the perfect example of that, where everything is legal. It's like, rules and regulations are there for a reason. It's not that necessarily people are trying to be controlling. It's just that there needs to be a sense of boundaries so that people can differentiate right from wrong, and they know how far is too far. So it's not a matter of control necessarily, like I was saying. It's more of knowing what's right and what's wrong, and people can pick and choose what they want, but it's at that point they still know what they're doing is either right or wrong.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. What about you two? Where do you guys come down on sanctuary cities?
Get rid of them. We don't need them.
Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of them either. I think it's weird that they exist.
Sidebar, what do you guys think about so-called Second Amendment sanctuary cities, though?
Why would we need that? It's a Second Amendment, Tanner.
Hypothetically true, but in practice, unfortunately not.
So are they like, what's their stance? Like, are they...
So there are some cities, mostly in southern and midwestern states, where they say we're not going to enforce any federal gun control laws because the Second Amendment, says people have the right to keep and bear arms.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Plain and simple is how it is. I don't know if that needs to be... It's weird. Guns are always such a weird topic, because...
Sounds pretty base to me.
I know that people have the argument of, like, people should just have to go through all these different things to get guns. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, if people have to take a test to get their driver's license, they should have to go through all these hoops to get a gun. Because, I mean, either way, you can kill somebody with a car, you can kill somebody with a gun. It's just the gun's more portable than a car is the issue. So,
and if you can catch a wrench, you can catch a ball.
There you go. But, yeah, I mean, guns are really weird gray area at the moment. I just think there's too much chaos going on in the world with guns at the moment for people to really make calm, cool, and collected decisions.
Did you guys see there was a shooting in Colorado yesterday?
No, I actually didn't.
No.
Some guy like shot up an LGBTQIA plus nightclub.
Jesus. Nightclub? What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And like literally, like, it's the most predictable thing in the world, but again, this happened yesterday, so like information is still new and whatever. I go and read the CNN article, and it's like, last year he had been arrested for making bomb threats against his mom, but we don't know what happened after that. I'm like,
the signs are obvious.
What does it take to put someone in prison? Honestly,
it's always how the shit goes too.
Exactly. Every time it's like, dude, someone just shot. What could have been done? And it's like the police have been called 47 times on this guy for murdering cats and leaving him on his, just like, I don't know.
It's the same way with school shootings too. They're like, oh my gosh, like, how could we have seen this coming? And then they, like, interview the kids and the teachers, and they're like, yeah, I mean, this kid, like, oh, what was it? It was a while ago. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, but, like, the kids and...
There was a recent one where they were like, yeah, his school nickname was School Shooter, or, like, some shit like that.
Yeah, they literally, he was drawing pictures of him shooting his friends and his teachers. And they caught him drawing it, and they didn't say anything. They didn't tell the parents. They caught him looking up guns and bullets online in school. Mm-hmm. And they didn't do anything about it. I don't know. I think they might have told the parents, but the parents didn't do anything. And they're like, oh man, how could we have prevented this tragedy? I'm like, fucking pay attention to the signs. This kid's looking at weapons and drawing him killing his friends and teachers. Jesus Christ.
This kid watches the movie Taxi Driver every day. We need to do something.
Yeah, before we got onto this, I was about to say, like, the other day, earlier this week, fucking McMinnville High School got closed on Wednesday because, like, before school even started, apparently people heard, like, gunshots or whatever, and they found, like, broken windows because, like, it looks like somebody shot into the school or whatever, so they canceled school for the day. Yeah, I like heard it from my mom first, and then it showed up. I think I saw it on Twitter, and then I saw it on Google. It was like it was in a lot of places for whatever weird reason.
Is that actually what happened? Did someone actually shoot at the school?
Yeah, I heard it. Zayla, my younger sister, she said that there was a broken window, and so they think somebody shot in the glass or something.
Huh.
But yeah, they canceled. Just McMinnville High School. They didn't cancel any other school. Just McMinnville.
Right.
So,
that's
do you guys remember when there was like that fucking threat of a school shooting that one day?
I think
No.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, there were they didn't cancel school, but like half of the students just weren't there because of it.
I think I remember hearing about that from you. But
Yeah,
I
apparently someone
can't
wrote
remember.
on like a stall in like the Safeway that like they're gonna shoot up the school or some shit like
In the
that.
Safeway.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Jesus,
I mean, I guess.
interesting place for it.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm sure
anyway.
there will be more gun questions later, but should Muslim immigrants be banned from entering the country until the government improves its ability to screen out potential terrorists?
I mean, I think that should be an obvious yes, unless I'm wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
You don't know what you just said, bro.
What? Oh, were we laughing
No,
at
this
my
is
answer?
good. We're getting, you know.
I feel like the answer is just an obvious yes, because, I mean, I might just have, I don't know.
Guapish does not stand by the stance of this man.
I'm concerned. I have nothing to get canceled
I
on, so.
I agree with this one right here. No, banning immigrants based on their religion is unconstitutional.
Oh, that's right, it's a religion, isn't it?
Interesting.
I forgot it was a religion.
Can I ask you, okay, so previous to 5 seconds ago, what did you think Muslims were?
I thought it was a race.
Interesting. That's worse, actually.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
It's just bad. I mean, you know, if you can come up with an argument for it, then you know.
I mean,
They did 9/11, Tanner.
you're hovering over the banning immigrants based on religion is unconstitutional. That is true, because everybody has a right to practice religion in America. Shit.
They don't have a right to enter the country though.
I know that. Well, that's the other thing is like. I mean, to be fair, yes is the first answer that came to my mind. So like trying to get and I answered so quickly. Trying to get myself out of this is just not.
Look, how many other religions tried to attack the Pentagon, okay?
Anyway.
Didn't the hippies try like lifting it out of the ground with their flower power?
Interesting.
We don't talk about that, dude.
Okay.
You know I'm half hippie, bro.
Oh.
I think. Wait. I think it's really interesting where the one says no, but we should ban immigrants from high-risk countries. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I understand what that says now. Yeah, I'd probably actually just go with that one, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, so by high-risk country, they mean countries where, like terrorists are known to,
Right.
like, hide out or come from quite a lot.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. Yeah, I didn't... I really fucked up on this question.
No, you're fine, dude.
There
There are rednecks all over the country that agree wholeheartedly with you.
Hang on now.
I want to see the stats on this one.
Oh, no.
Let's see what we got.
What?
Wow. See,
Wow.
Dillyn, you're like barely in the minority for
That
this
is
one.
crazy.
Oh, but they even break it down into, like, more the specifics,
Yeah, see,
too.
42% say yes.
Huh.
So, like, it's not even like an unpopular answer you're giving, Dillyn.
That's fine. I
Dude,
mean,
we can even we could separate by state.
do it to find Oregon, I guess.
Yeah, let's find where. Let's
Texas
see what.
is 100%.
They're third column, very bottom.
Yeah. Here we go. There we go.
Damn.
See, you're still on board with like 4 out of 10, 2 out of 5 Oregonians.
That's still not great, but. What?
See about ethnicity. There we go. White people are 50-50 on this one.
Damn.
Full white. This doesn't fully apply to me.
That's crazy.
Yes, let's see.
I like how they put black. What the
There
fuck?
we go. They're also almost 50-50.
Jesus.
Everyone's
Out
on
of
board
curiosity,
with this
just
one.
get Texas in there, Tanner.
Yeah, let's
wanna
see.
know-
Okay, we'll do.
I want to know what your people are thinking.
I have a
What?
interesting
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
50-50. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Well, now we know.
I still say the high risk one. That one makes the most sense to me.
Okay.
gonna be
Yeah,
like-
we already did a second row of immigration.
I'm not going to be too quick to answer some of these.
Nah, I like it. It's funny.
Okay.
Criminal issues.
Woohoo.
Should funding for local police departments be redirected to social and community-based programs?
I guess that depends on what they mean by social and community-based programs. Like,
usually it's like therapists is what people mean by this, or like community workers.
Redirected? No. But I do think that helping people and abolish the police. Oh, Jesus Christ. I see, I like that last one. No increase funding and training for police departments in higher crime rate communities.
Yeah.
I do think that people need to be... the thing is that cops really resort to some unorthodox...
I think it's pretty orthodox.
Well...
I think it's extremely orthodox, in fact.
But sometimes the issue is, needs to be handled before it gets to the point where the police are involved. Like, a lot of these issues can be resolved before the police are involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's a lot of preemptive
Yeah, I agree with that
stuff.
See, like, what this question is getting at is there's a lot of people who are like, oh, do police officers need to be, like, called in to get rid of homeless people and shit like that, and shouldn't we have people that can specifically do things like that? That's like the hypothetically perfect scenario they're envisioning. And then to counter that, most people are like, what if the homeless person is crazy and murders the fucking therapist you sent him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how a therapist is going to help a homeless person, but that might just be me. I think we need to stabilize some other things before their mental health.
Fair enough. Should police departments be allowed to use military-grade equipment?
I say no.
No,
one
and
abolish the police. Jesus Christ.
Just get rid of them.
Yeah, extreme situation should be handled by higher agencies with specialized training and equipment. I think relying on the police, like, if you give the police military-grade equment, they're gonna want some milk. Yeah, exactly. I actually used an analogy today. That's really funny. But yeah, it's like, what's the purpose of higher forms of military and deterrence and defense if we're just gonna give all that power to one department? And especially when, like, sometimes they lack the funding and the training to, do what they're currently doing. So I think leave the jobs to the experts of their own, specific, whatever you want to call it. Like, cops are good for dealing with XYZ, SWAT teams are good for XYZ, so on and so forth, however you wanted to break that up.
Yeah. The only issue I spot in this question is, like, what exactly does military-grade equipment mean?
I kind of just envision SWAT equipment, bulletproof. I mean, cops also get bulletproof vests, but... like fully automatic rifles, or maybe just rifles in general.
What if it's like a fully automatic rifle that, like, the military doesn't use anymore because they've moved on to more advanced stuff?
I mean, that could be fair, but again, that also would require a more escalated version of a scenario, in which case that is pretty much just a shooting. Mm-hmm. Like a shootout.
Tanner, if it ain't good enough for the military, it ain't good enough for our boys in blue.
The big argument too, for the people who don't have an issue with the police, is like, man, what are the police supposed to do if they get in a shootout with a armed felon who has a fully automatic rifle and all they have are these sidearms? And it's like, at that point, that's a fair argument, but it's also like, I agree with that stance. It's like, why would you fight somebody with a rifle when all you have is a sidearm? So that makes sense to me, but...
Okay.
Dude, you ever see John Wick, though, Dillyn? That dude can take a guy down with a pencil. I think our police officers are more than fully equipped to take someone down with even just, like, a little pea shooter.
Listen, man, it's a dramatized movie.
I thought it was very real.
What?
You're right. I would definitely do that for my dog. No doubt about it. I got 2 of them. I have double the incentive.
What the hell are you talking?
Anyway.
Let's see. Should convicted criminals have the right to vote?
Ah, shit, we talked about this.
We sure did. What was the consensus, Dillyn?
I mean, I think we talked about, why does it matter? Does their vote... It's not like their vote's gonna get them out of prison. So it's like, why would you take away...
I will say, in light of, like, recent news that I've been seeing around the country, it does seem like they can, in fact, vote themselves out of prison, as that has, in fact, been happening, so...
I mean, to be completely fair... Wait, hold on. I mean, I agree with all three of those yeses, unfortunately. I think the one that I'm going to go with, though, is the one that says only after completing sentences and parole or probation, because that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because then, then they're truly deprived of what they think they deserve and is a right to them until they are proven that they can be trusted with it again.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Where do you guys stand on that one?
That's a hard one. I think I'm leaning more towards no, actually. Specifically just because I don't feel like somebody that went out of their way to break the laws of our country should be allowed to vote for people that would do stuff with the legislature for our country. That just seems really backwards to me. Like it's kind of gray, because obviously there are like false convictions and things like that, and people can change,
right?
But I don't know. I feel like probably lean toward you guys just to be reasonable to them, I suppose. Because it'd be a bit unfair if they like really changed. But I feel like it's like a harsh punishment that would make sense, because they did something bad that warrant this.
Right. Yeah, I get that. I'm kind of just of the mind like the jail time is the punishment, and once they finish that, like that needs to be the end of it, so they can just fucking move on,
Yeah. I mean,
also,
that
frankly,
shit follows their record and stuff, so it's not like jail's just the only thing they have to deal with.
Yeah, true.
Harder to get a job and shit.
But frankly, there are more prisoners that I would trust with voting than there are non-criminals that I would. So
fair enough.
As long as
The
they're
only thing a
informed.
prisoner should be voting for is what their last meal is before euthanize them, I tell you what.
what's the name of this character, Nico?
Billy Joel.
I'm trying to think of like the.
Did you say Billy Joel?
Billy
No,
Joel.
the name that keeps coming to mind is like Grisham, but that's that's a little too high class, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
What? How can you like redneckify the name Nico?
Nico, Nikolai.
Yeah. What?
Nick.
How about and everyone listen? How about and everyone listen real closely for this one, so you don't mistake me.
Uh-oh.
Neek-er.
I like Nick better.
I thought you were just gonna say the word.
I'm not gonna say that around you guys.
I obviously would not drop just the hard ass word. Yeah. Do you
Hard
support
ass.
qualified immunity for police officers?
Qualified immunity? What the hell does that even mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna look it up, but also, so off the top of my head, I believe qualified immunity just kind of means that, if a police officer does something wrong, they're like, well, you're a police officer.
No,
And then they kind of get let off the hook.
I think that's fucked up. I think everybody needs to be held to the same standard. A crime is a
does
crime. Why? What I'm saying is, why would we condemn a person?
Oh, here we go. Okay, so it says they have immunity from civil suits.
So what, like speeding and shit?
No, it means they can't be sued by like the public.
What? I don't.
Realistically, what it means in America is that cops often don't get held accountable for making, like, quote-unquote mistakes in their job.
No, yeah, everybody needs to be held to a standard. I don't think title or status means shit.
Mm-hmm.
I actually almost want to say increase the personal liability for misconduct. Because I know I just said we hold everybody to the same standard, but the police are supposed to uphold and carry out the law. And it's like, they're like I said, if anything, they're held to a higher standard, but everybody should at least be held to the same standard by bare minimums.
Mm-hmm.
So saying that, oh, well, he's a police officer, so it's fine, that's bullshit. I think that's like getting a title just so you can be immune to whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that stance. I don't think I'd go. I don't know if I'd go for the increased personal liability, but I definitely am a no on that one.
My main idea here is that, like, if people, like, if that was the case, if people could get qualified immunity, that would essentially just be like, I'm gonna be a police officer, so XYZ can't happen to me. Then it's just people wanting to be a police officer because of quote-unquote benefits or perks, which is stupid.
Well, what about you guys? You guys like qualified immunity?
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
There we go.
Complete
no.
the verse, Jackson. Complete
I don't know.
the verse,
That's all I know, man. That's all I know.
Say the next 2 words.
What are the next 2 words? Say it and I'll say it.
Should non-violent prisoners be released from jail in order to reduce overcrowding?
Sure. I
That's
don't see
more
what the
than
issue with
2
that
words.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
You want any one of these more specific
must
yeses?
perform community service on a daily basis.
Build more
Alright.
prisons.
How do you put them on
Yeah,
house arrest using a... would they be
That's where
released
I
to their
stand
house?
too.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, well, the electronic, it basically would, like, signal, hey, this person is leaving their house.
I mean, I guess we could do that one too, but...
I
Yeah,
can only
just
click
do the
one.
just do the community service one. Like,
Okay.
yeah, people stealing shit, that don't need to be in jail necessarily for that, but also shouldn't be left off the hook.
I agree with Jackson. No, and we should build more prisons.
That costs money, man. I don't want to pay more money. That's taxes.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
hypothetically.
The prisoners are being used as slave labor anyways. It's not actually that much of a cost. Don't worry about it.
What kind of
Have you ever
slave
thought
labor are
about
they
how
doing?
cheap driver's licenses are?
I don't remember how much driver's licenses cost, man. It's been a while.
They're like $70. That was a lie. It's fucking bullshit.
Oh. Yeah, it's been a while. I don't
Should
The profit
prisons
margins are
ban-
crazy, though.
What? Should prisons ban the use of solitary confinement for juveniles?
I already know Jackson's answer.
What?
I'm gonna go with the second guess. We should create more social programs to help prevent and rehabilitate criminals. I think a crucial part of a lot of children's childhood growing up is social involvement, and the ones that stay distant or don't grow up in a healthy environment is that's part of the reason they grow up kind of weird or not so great. There was a thing once where it's if you want to train a dog or rehabilitate a dog to act more like a dog, just put it in a pack of dogs and it starts acting like a dog. It's kind of the same psychological environment thing where it's you remove a thing from its positive environment and then you create a negative negative result or whatever.
Yeah, I think that the evidence is kind of in solitary confinement kind of accomplishes nothing but really fucking people up.
Yeah.
Psychologically.
Resentment and shit.
I'd really only be okay with solitary confinement for people who have life sentences anyway,
I guess so. That makes sense.
Other than that, I'm fine with banning it.
Life sentences are kind of for heavy shit though, committing multiple murders and all that in the first degree.
Exactly.
Fuck them kids. They commit a crime. I say we keep them in solitary confinement. We throw away the key. We don't ever let them out. These teens anyway, they stay in their rooms all the time. I bet they like it in there.
I say we sodomize them.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Let's move on to social issues.
My favorite.
Should states be allowed to display the Confederate flag on government property?
No.
Okay.
I think that's a state's issue.
No, it is a symbol of racism, separatism, and treason.
What?
I mean, what?
The Confederate flag?
Yes!
I think since this question is specifically referring to government property, I agree with getting it out of there.
It's just the Dukes of Hazzard flag is all it is.
The Dukes of Hazzard flag.
Here's the thing, man.
We're I guarantee you if you ask most Zoomers what it is, they would say something along those lines.
Probably. The fact that it specifically said government property is it's already, in my eyes, the Confederate flag is already racist. And then it's separatism and treason's a little extreme in my opinion, but separatism mostly because of the fact of we were trying to be unified when this all happened, and then the southern states were like, no, fuck you, this is what we want. And the North's like, no, fuck you, this is how it's going to be. And then, separating.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was
a
great summary of the Civil War.
Yeah, basically.
Jackson, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, Jackson,
Are you a big fan?
Yeah, do you want to fly the stars and bars nice and proud?
I don't think they should do that. I think they should be allowed to do that, but I don't think they should.
Okay.
I think realistically, everybody would say no to doing that, even if they had the option anyway. So I don't see why it'd be a big deal.
Not everybody.
That's reasonable enough. Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood?
Jesus, man, this is the real touchy subject.
Dillyn, answer carefully. I'll never talk to you again.
I don't know if it's touching in this particular group, but
well, I just read the next question.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I mean, Planned Parenthood, that's like the shit that like puts like yeah, it just pays for contraceptives, right? Or like things in like college and shit, and like the.
They do stuff like that. Their main thing they're known for is providing abortions. That's where most of their revenue comes from.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with my statement, or you don't agree with them doing that?
I don't agree with them doing it.
Okay. I was like, I'm just telling you what's happening, man.
Man, there's a lot of nuances, but like the no's don't exactly say what I want, so I'll just have to say no.
Yeah. If it helps convince you more, Planned Parenthood makes a profit without government funding, so
well,
it doesn't even make sense for them to be getting government funding anyway.
Bringing up this sibling again, I was having a discussion with my younger sister today. How
old is she?
15.
Okay.
This was they were talking about like reproductive rights, and because she knows my argument, she's like, I understand that like people can like do things to prevent it, but like they don't always work, and like birth control is bad for you and has bad side effects and like all this stuff, and I'm like, well,
abortions also have bad side effects.
Yeah, and in my head I was like, I personally don't know any kind, like, I don't know bad side effects of birth control. I actually haven't heard any. If anything, I've heard, like, benefits to taking it.
Hormonal birth control can, like, it's kind of random. For some women, it works as intended. For some women, it actually, like, improves things with their, like, cycles and stuff. And for other women, it, like, actually will fuck them up.
Yeah, but, like, that's why there's so many different versions of contraceptives. Like, it's so you don't have to be limited to just one. So the people who also say like, oh well, some contraceptives don't work, it's like, well, considering the fact that each person can have at least one between them, and they have an over 80% chance bare minimum to work, I don't think that's an argument. So you could sit here and say that contraceptives don't work, and I'm just saying, well, you're either lazy, not doing your research, or you're really trying to...
You're a whore.
Yeah,
you should have looked your little sister right in the face.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not gonna do that. Yeah, this
why
is
do
always...
You just really start questioning her motives, like, why do you want them so bad, huh?
Yeah.
Why are you so interested in reproductive rights, huh?
She doesn't even want kids.
That's what they all say.
Well.
I personally say the abortion clinics.
Did you just mute yourself?
I definitely heard something there that was intentional.
I heard a weird squeak, but
yeah, that was also me.
Anyways, what is your stance on abortion?
God. So that last one just isn't true, because if that was the case, people would be doing it. People are just dumb.
Yeah, I saw an interest, like, it's objectively not true, because, like, the states that have the most abortions are, like, California, New York, places like that, where hypothetically they should have the best sex education, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that idea that, if we just, like, teach kids better, then there will be less abortions anyway. It's just objectively not true.
You can't teach the hormones out of kids. That's the issue here.
You can't teach the horny out of children.
Yeah. So here's my dilemma here, is that pro-choice, ban after 3 months. That's kind of questionable because there are some people who believe in life after conception. There are some people who believe in life after 3 months. I'm just trying to generalize.
They're
here,
out there.
What do you believe?
I'm sparks noting it. I believe that life happens after conception. Like that's
After.
when the cell splits.
Oh, okay. So when you say after conception, you mean like 20 seconds after.
It doesn't really happen that fast.
You have a very small time frame to have the abortion.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is almost instant.
Fucking cum shot up right on the staircase.
When does mitosis begin?
How long after conception does the zygote split? Let's see if we get a 1-to-1. Let's see. Oh, fuck. How late in the human pregnancy? I like how they specify human pregnancy in this question, but
Oh wait, no, it's for identical twins.
twinning. Oh, you're right. How long?
Oh wait, how long after sex does conception occur?
Where?
That first one there.
I mean, that's not exactly, but maybe it'll have the answer here. What
Jesus.
the fuck? Let's say, how long does it actually? Oh my god. This is so much information that
It's
is
too
not
much.
related
Let's
to
assume
what
it's
we're looking
immediate.
for. I'm pretty
immediate.
sure.
All right,
I'm pretty
whatever.
sure it's like immediately after.
I'm just gonna say pro-life. I think I'm on the side of pro-life, so I will go with the answer pro-life, but allow in cases of rape, incest, or danger to the mother or child. That is the only
Okay.
thing that reasonably makes sense to me.
Sounds good to me. Do we want to put you guys down for an official channel stance?
I'm pro-life.
Okay.
There we go.
Pretty black and white for me.
Speaking of black and white, I'm pro-life unless they're black.
Well,
I mean, that's just the official Planned Parenthood stance, Tanner.
That's what they're raised on.
oh man.
That's all they know. Anyway, next question. That was a joke, guys. My girlfriend's black. I can't.
I
be
know,
racist.
that's why I wasn't
Don't
sure
share
how to
this
feel about
podcast
it.
episode.
Do you support the legalization of same-sex marriage? Where does Dillyn stand on this issue?
I'm
You caught him at a bad time.
I'm gonna go with yes, but allow churches the right to refuse.
Honestly, I'm kind of on board with the take the government out of marriage and instead make it a religious decision.
I mean, I guess that's also fair. I agree with that.
I think they're both reasonable stances.
It's weird because I am decently religious, but I also am in the stance of a lot of things in life. I don't care enough to have my opinion or influence put on anybody. So like when people are like talking to me about this kind of stuff, it's like I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Like if it bothers me, I'll let you know. But I don't want your decision to be based off of what I say.
Just don't hit on me.
Yeah.
Should gender identity be added to anti-discrimination laws?
Tanner, we didn't get to hear what Carl Sagan had to say about the last question.
What did Carl Sagan have to say?
Hell no, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and some other dude getting sodomized by Adam. What are they doing?
They're gonna say Adam and Steve.
No,
Damn.
of course not. That's too plain.
It was a subversion
It's
joke,
been
you know?
done.
Why Carl Sagan?
I don't know.
Do you know who that is?
I don't remember. I know some political figure, so I just went with that name.
He's
Oh,
not
shit.
political, but he's like a really famous atheist astronomer or something who's known for being like religion is bullshit or whatever.
All the better, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm sure he's very opposed to gay marriage. Should gender identity be added to anti-discrimination laws?
Not gonna lie, I feel the torture's beginning to be lit, boys. I feel the fire approaching.
Yeah, always that. I don't know what you're talking. Listen,
His siblings watch
if
all these
it ever
episodes.
gets too hot there in Oregon, you can always come here to Texas where you'll be celebrated as a hero.
God, can we censor this part of the podcast out?
No, this one. Listen, you don't need to say. I'll go first. Even like the answer is no. We shouldn't add something that doesn't exist to anti-discrimination laws.
There we go. Yeah, my two answers basically culminate in no. There are only two genders, which are genetic, not psychologically determined. But my answer is also we should address gender identity as a mental health issue and provide funds for more research and care. I do think.
I personally feel like you shouldn't open these more questions up until Dillyn gives an answer.
I mean, to be completely fair, my stance on this is already, I believe, because we said this before the podcast, I think that this is an issue of kids not getting enough attention as...
I think it's them getting too much attention.
Well, now, yes. But it's like I said, weird as an analogy as it is, I use the if you give the mouse a cookie story earlier, and it's like, we just keep allowing things to happen, and it's like, the more we allow, the freakier shit gets, and eventually it's just gonna, like...
Right.
Bulldoze into out of controlness, and it's just gonna be shit everywhere. It's gonna be crazy, dude.
Eventually that mouse is gonna be coming for your wife.
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
If you give a kid a gender, they're gonna want another.
There you go.
Should transgender athletes be allowed to compete against athletes that differ from their assigned sex at birth? I mean, this one should be pretty easy for you, Dillyn.
Hold on. So what is... I don't get what this question's asking.
Should transgender athletes be allowed to compete against athletes that differ from their assigned sex at birth?
Are they a dude or a chick, and what were they at birth?
Okay, so Dillyn, let's say that you got a dude, he transitions into a woman.
Okay.
Should that woman now be allowed to compete against other biological women?
Sure.
Not
why
other,
not?
but actual biological. Really?
How progressive?
Sure, I don't know. They're a chick now. Whatever. Put them where they belong.
But they're not a chick. They're still a man. They just think they're a chick.
So do they have a dick or not?
Yes.
Then no, I don't know. This is why this is bullshit. This doesn't make any sense.
Why didn't you just go with your gut? Why are you siding with them now?
Because I don't understand the question, obviously.
But what? No, you said like put them where they should be. Isn't that like exactly the opposite of what you think?
Dillyn. Now here, let me let. Do you think that a male, so someone with XY chromosomes and a penis, who identifies as a woman, should be allowed to compete in like the women's, let's say, soccer league?
No.
Okay.
You switched up fast.
It also stems from the fact that I don't understand the question, Jackson.
Yeah,
I mean, I just explained it very clearly.
Yeah, that made sense to me. I thought this was saying like the dude became a woman like physically.
But that's not possible, Dillyn. So why would you think that?
What about the fucking sex change surgery? Isn't sex change surgery a thing?
Yeah, but it doesn't actually transform them into, like, their cells still have male DNA.
See, then that's bullshit. Why does any of this matter?
That's what we're saying.
That is what we're saying.
God damn it.
That ain't what we're saying. That's what you guys and Carl Sagan are saying.
That's why That's why I don't understand why this is such a thing today. It's like, if it doesn't actually change anything, why does it matter?
Well, maybe it does change because they kind of look like it sometimes.
No. If I can't have a baby with you, you're not a woman.
That's going to be his presidential slogan.
Alright, let's
I beat my wife every day. Who cares if a tranny beats up another woman? Who cares?
Moving on now.
Yeah, okay, let's do the next category. We got education issues.
You don't want more transgender issues, Tanner?
Sure, let's do more. I think they're fun. Should health insurance providers be required to offer free birth control?
I mean, I guess only if that's gonna make kids have less babies, then this whole reproductive rights thing will go away.
It won't, but...
Sure, give it a shot, I guess. What do the other stances say?
Yes, except for religious organizations and charities that oppose the use of contraception.
I just leave it at yes,
Should be covered like any other... Okay. My opinion is, insurance providers? Required? I don't think insurance providers should be required to do anything, so...
I don't think health insurance providers should exist.
That's true.
Oh, wait, required?
Get rid of...
maybe... Hold on.
What do you mean? Why are you saying required in that tone of voice? That was the question I read.
My brain skipped over that.
Okay.
I heard my brain saw provide and then cut out the rest.
Interesting.
Nah, to make it like a prescription thing. That's basically how it already is.
Okay.
It's not like it's difficult.
Should gay couples have the same adoption rights as straight couples?
Why not?
Okay.
I
think that's probably the correct answer.
Yeah. Whatever, man. They want children.
Some people argue that you don't get the same. I'm not one of these people, but some people will argue that like a man and a man cannot raise a child properly. Like they're not going to get, they're not going to develop properly unless they have both a man and a woman raising them.
Yeah, which I think is ridiculous. I think that a woman and a woman can't raise a child, but like a man and a man, they can handle it just fine.
Yeah, we've all seen two and a half men.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think straight couples should take priority over gay couples, but if you have some leftover kids, sure, the gays can have them. Should the federal government institute a mandatory buyback of assault weapons?
What the fuck? Social. How's this a social question?
Good question.
Mandatory buyback of assault weapons. No. No. Wait. Yeah. No. Why?
Because they need the guns back. Maybe.
But Dillyn, you at least get paid for them.
Yeah, you'll get paid for the gun.
Like 5% of what you paid.
Yeah, I was about to say you get a real whole lot of GameStop value out of that deal. Yeah, I'm just gonna say no.
I don't even need to look at the other stances. That's true. It's a no.
Yeah.
Now let's do education issues. Should the federal government pay for tuition at four-year colleges and universities? So should college be free?
I don't think it should be English. I don't think it should be as expensive as it is. Is that in the other stances? Is that some?
Let's see. Partial, lower interest rates, more scholarship opportunities for low income. It doesn't really say that.
I did. Maybe just do the partial tuition one. That makes
that is kind of how it already is, basically, with like government guaranteed loans and shit.
Yeah.
And FAFSA and whatever. Yeah, no, my answer is no. They shouldn't pay for it. And there's a whole lot of shit that needs to be changed about colleges. Well, fucking like
there's
that's
we already talked about that in excess.
There's not necessarily a right way to answering that, so.
Should critical race theory be taught in K-12 education?
What is critical race theory?
Let's see how this describes it, because, let's see. Critical race theory is the claim that American institutions, laws, and history are inherently racist. It argues that white people have put up social, economic, and legal barriers between the races in order to maintain their elite status, both economically and politically, and that the source of poverty and criminal behavior in minority communities is due exclusively to these barriers.
So
that is a pretty succinct description, actually. I'm impressed.
So it's essentially just painting the picture that when education is being taught in schools, it's seeing it from a white person's point of view to make them seem higher. I think am I understanding that correctly?
I don't, from how you're describing it, no, I don't think you are understanding it correctly.
Okay, so Dillyn, like you've seen the Hunger Games, right? It's like the white people are from the capital and everyone else are minorities, okay?
Oh, so
that's how they want to teach history.
No, I think that. So wait, I guess if I think that if history and all that shit should be taught accurately, I should answer no, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's true.
Yeah, so
but they do want to teach it accurately.
They want to teach it their version of accurately.
No, I think it needs to be accurate. Wait, what does that one say? Should be racially colorblind instead of being taught they are inherently racist or disadvantaged based on the color. I actually agree with that one.
Bro, I didn't know that racism existed until I was in like the fucking 5th grade.
Same. I don't know.
That's true.
I actually don't know when I discovered racism. Probably when I first started learning about Martin Luther King and all that shit.
Now kids know about it like the moment they exit the womb.
Okay.
It was pretty late for me too, because when I was a little kid, I told my mom I was Chinese because I didn't know how races work. So I was like, yeah, this is a perfectly logical statement for me to be making. I could in fact be Chinese.
Of course.
Yeah, I remember my fucking 5th grade teacher was like, just like reading us some book about like racism, and she was like, yeah, did you guys know that some people hate other people because of the color of their skin? And I was like, what? Why would they do that? That's crazy. This thing's called racism?
What?
And then like around that time, my mom married my stepdad. We were going out to visit my grandparents, and at some point I overheard them saying like, yeah, well, my dad's kind of racist, but he means well. And the entire time I was thinking, hang on, he's one of those bad people from the books?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Crazy stuff.
Was he racist? Did he say anything to you?
Not that I've seen, no.
Okay. That's fine.
right.
Maybe, maybe the halvesies get you in good with him,
I guess so.
Do you support increasing taxes for the rich in order to reduce interest rates for student loans?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Let's see.
No, but we should still reduce interest rates for student loans.
That's true. I mean, most student loans are owned by the government, so
Yeah.
hypothetically, there isn't anything stopping them from just lowering interest rates.
They just want money, man.
Inflation.
Inflation.
Yeah.
Oh, well, why are you inflating me? Let's go to electoral issues.
All right.
Let's see, how many more categories? Okay. We're going to start speed running this. We're getting a bit long in the tooth here.
Sounds good.
Should the Electoral College be abolished?
Don't know.
Do you have any strong opinions on the Electoral College?
I don't remember what the Electoral College is.
So, oh boy. So it's like, when we do elections, like for president, everyone votes, and then, in each individual state, they have a number of electoral votes. So everyone in a state votes. Whichever, candidate gets the most votes gets all of that state's electoral votes.
Gotcha.
And, God, it's such a long explanation to describe the fors and againsts of that one.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, let's keep it the same for now. Should a photo ID be required to vote?
I think really you just need to prove you're a U.S. citizen. I don't know what photo ID has to do with anything.
A photo ID is a very common way of proving you're a citizen.
Oh, then yes.
By photo ID, they mean, like, that would include, like, your driver's license.
Yeah,
or a passport, or a passport card, or whatever. Yeah, I agree with that.
How do you feel about that one, Jackson?
Absolutely. Why is that a problem?
Yeah, that was one of the weirder things that, like, became a big political issue, and I really don't understand it, because that feels like a no-brainer to me.
It's a no-brainer to most of the rest of the world that votes, too.
Yeah.
Dillyn, since you're half black, do you find it difficult to get a driver's license?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know how to use the internet?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I'm confused. What does this have to do with anything?
Well,
Don't
Dylan,
worry
some
about it.
people, they go home to their black homes, and they don't know how to work a computer.
Okay, Hank.
You see, Dillyn, the photo ID thing, this has become a big controversy because a bunch of, liberals are like, we can't require photo IDs because black people might not have them.
I saw a clip. Yeah, they were interviewing this lady, and she's like, well, it's just not fair. And they're like, what do you mean? And then she's like, well, think of all, like, the black people that don't have their driver's... And then after that, like, while they were still interviewing her, they called over, some black kids, and they were like, oh, do you guys have your photo IDs on you? And they're like, yeah, and they pulled it out, and then she just looked like an idiot.
I know exactly what video you're
Holy
talking
shit, new
about.
Stop the Waz video!
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there it is.
Got glued to that immediately.
Let's see. Yeah, here it is. This is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was funny. People are dumb.
They sure are. Should foreigners currently residing in the United States have the right to vote?
When they...
I assume by foreigner they mean non-citizen.
I mean, are they staying in the country? Because I feel like if they're not staying in the country, why would they vote?
I mean, it says residing, so yeah.
But it's not a permanent residence.
It could be. So, like, it's referring to, like, anyone who is not a citizen but does live here.
Yes, but only after living in the country for 5 years.
Interesting. I'd say no. Only legal citizens should be allowed to vote.
Same here, bro.
Same here, bro.
Okay.
Transportation issues. Should the government increase spending on public transportation?
Like buses and trains and shit?
Yes.
Why? What would spending more money do? Shouldn't we just focus on fixing the roads?
Well, people want public transportation so they can go places without having a car.
I mean, I don't really know if that matters too much nowadays, considering the vast majority of ways to get from point A to point B. Fuck it. Yes, but only if the spending goes towards environmentally friendly solutions.
Okay. I think the government should increase spending on inventing teleportation, and then we can skip this entire stupid controversy.
There we
But
go.
Jackson doesn't want to be teleported.
Why?
Why don't you want to be teleported, Jackson?
Because it's gonna kill me and make a direct copy of me on the other side, of course.
That's fair enough.
It's like
What
But
if it's-
Jackson, as an individual who does not believe in God or anything like that, why do you care?
That's fair enough.
Why does that?
Because I will die.
Yeah, but like you'll basically not die.
What if it's
If
more
I
like
believe-
a portal? What if it's more like a portal gun type teleportation instead of like the dissolving and reappearing kind?
I'd still be skeptical of it, but I'd be less skeptical of it, I think.
You guys ever
Okay.
played or seen the game Soma? That's basically what that would be.
Sure. Housing issues. Should homeless individuals that have refused available shelter or housing be allowed to sleep or encamp on public property?
I don't know why you'd make it a criminal offense. They can't. It's not like you could do anything about it. Yep, I knew that was coming.
Come on, Tanner, come on. That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, here's the thing. If they refuse available shelter or housing, that's their fault. That's not our fault
Yeah.
at that point. So, no. I say no. I still think it's up to the individual, to like the person who owns the public property. But, like, in general, if somebody offers you a place to stay and you say no, that's your fault at that point.
I totally agree.
Dylan, do you believe that homeless people are the most oppressed group in American society?
They're one of them.
One of them, but are they the most?
Sure, I guess. I don't know. I don't keep track of that.
Okay.
I don't think they're oppressed enough. Science issues. Should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable diseases?
Yes.
Okay. My thing is, like, preventable. That word gets it gets a little slippery sometimes, but whatever.
It's just like the only reason humanity is where we are today is because of advances in science, technology, and medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, people who are like, no, I know a couple anti-vax people, but people
My
who are
sister's
like,
one of them.
yeah, I know. People who are like, no, like the human, like, don't get me wrong, I do believe the human body is capable of incredible things. But I don't think we should be so reliant on the fact that our bodies are resilient that we will take it to the grave. I think if there's a way to save a life, then we should just do it. I don't think we should be dumb and think the body can, withstand it. We've made
Dylan,
these
I feel like if I
developments for a
inject you with
reason.
black tar heroin, you could fight it off easy.
I think I might die. And that's also not a, like, I don't know what disease you would be preventing with that, so...
I mean, to be fair, how many diseases do you think can survive being in veins full of black tar heroin?
I don't know, man. I don't feel like testing that theory.
Do you support the use of nuclear energy?
Sure, why not?
Who wouldn't?
I put a big hell yeah, brother, for that one.
Hell yeah.
What
Should
Hell yeah.
produce-
We'll
What?
talk about it later. Never mind, we'll talk about it later.
No,
so we
go
can keep
ahead and ask it now. This is literally the point of this video.
What's people's stigma with nuclear energy? Are they just worried about fucking nuclear
It'll explode.
disaster?
Have you seen Chernobyl?
Here's
Uh-huh.
I've actually,
Have you seen Fukushima?
to be fair, I've actually done.
Have you seen Chernobyl a second time?
Shush! I'm trying to make
Have
my
you
statement
seen
here.
3 Mile Island?
I've actually done my extensive, like, quote unquote research on this because I found it
Did
very
you know
fascinating.
that
Whoa.
Chernobyl
But-
is the Russian word for wormwood?
Nope, didn't know that. But no, like there's just a matter of unfortunate circumstances. I'd have to. Chernobyl was just big ego dudes who wanted to make bigger strides in the nuclear field, so they did some unorthodox things they shouldn't have done, and then their mechanics did an adverse effect of what they actually wanted it to do, which caused the explosion. However, in Fukushima, that was just a matter of unfortunate circumstances where there were a lot of safeguards in place, but literally 3, 4, 5 safeguards failed, and that's why it ended up exploding anyway.
It didn't even explode.
It
just
didn't
got
explode,
really hot.
but it went super critical. So
Yeah.
it's really, the first Chernobyl was just literally people being ego boosted and dumb. Fukushima was just literally a bunch of things going wrong one after the other, even though fail-safes were put in place.
I mean, that's just Russia in a nutshell. They're constantly doing shit like that where they're like, well, the U.S. is doing all this cool shit. We want in on that. That's why they did the whole space race thing, dude.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't have anywhere near the technology to actually accomplish much in that field.
Yeah. Dude, nuclear stuff is really fascinating, though. I love it.
Also fascinating, should producers be required to label genetically engineered foods?
Yes?
You know, I used to be on the side of like, no, or I don't care, but that's because I was ignorant. Apparently, genetically engineered foods, there actually are substantive differences, and that is that their like nutrient density is way lower. So now I agree, yes, they should have to label that stuff.
Well, it's just like the example with the chickens, where it's like the reason that like people have such an issue with like, I don't even know, like, I don't want to say corporate raised chickens because
Growth
that's not
hormones.
accurate. Yeah, so it's just growth hormones where literally chickens grow so fast that their legs don't develop and that they can't even walk. Like, they can walk 2 steps before collapsing. So then it's like, at that point, what kind of shit are you putting in your body if that shit's going on to those animals? It's the same case with the plants. You're not getting the full benefits. Like, everybody just wants bigger, better, faster, you know, so we're trying to comply and do that, but it's not as efficient in a way.
True. So, environmental issues. Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent climate change?
I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, what? Tell people to stop driving their cars? Everybody's required to drive electric cars? Like,
That's
there's only
exactly
so
what
much-
they're gonna do.
I know. There's only so much you can do, though. I think there's more. We need a. The issue is we're just gonna keep advancing in technology and everything. I think instead of focusing on what's causing the problem, like, we could do that. Instead of focusing on what's causing the problem, we also need to think of what can fix the problem. So in terms of that, I would say yes, but I think in this case, they mean like, I mean, if we can, the thing is, even with electric cars, we still have the electric plants that are going to put pollution in the air anyway. That's things that people don't realize. And we don't produce enough hydroelectric or air power to compensate for the electricity that needs to be made. So what are the other stances here?
We got, let's see, we got all that.
All of it.
None of this really helps. I'm gonna say no, and it's not for the reason people like I was saying. It's like we can only go so far to prevent the emissions from happening in the first place. We really need to focus on how to remove the emissions after it's already done, because that's one side of the battle I don't think we've explored enough.
True,
Look, dude, I don't
carbon
really
capture
think that global
technology.
warming is all that real. I went into the movie theaters the other day, and it was so cold in there.
Dude, I'm in Texas, and it's very cold right now. Like, what's up with that?
It's called albedo, alright? Just don't even worry about it.
Albedo.
What? Should the U.S. withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement?
I don't know what that is, so...
It's this big, like, climate change agreement that a bunch of countries signed where they were like, hey, we're gonna do the, you know, it had, like, metrics where they were like, oh, we're gonna reduce our emissions by this much. And then Donald Trump pulled us out of it because he was like, well, fucking those other... We keep meeting our metrics and those other guys aren't, and you guys don't say shit to them. So this is stupid. And then Biden put us back in it for some reason.
I think this boils down to... As trivial as it might seem, I think this boils down to setting an example. Like, sure, we're hitting our metrics, but then at that point, we're just holding ourselves accountable and actually doing it. And it's like... You know, even if we are doing it, nobody else is. I don't see the purpose in withdrawing, because it's like, we're already doing it. We might as well show other countries we can do it. So, I guess no.
Aye. Should drilling be allowed in the Alaska Wildlife Refuge?
I don't think so. That, just based on it being a refuge for wildlife. It sounds counterintuitive.
That makes sense to me. Do you support a universal basic income program?
No.
Okay.
Minimum wage jobs are minimum wage for a reason.
Got him. Should the U.S. raise taxes on the rich?
No.
I agree. Let's lower taxes on everyone. Should the government raise the federal minimum wage?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Why do you believe that, Dillyn?
I don't know what the fucking federal minimum wage is $7.25 or some shit, right? Or is it higher than that now?
It is $7.25.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of living in a lot of other states is relatively low, but I know it's still pretty rough in those cases. My whole argument for minimum wage is like I said, minimum wage is minimum wage for a reason. That's a job anybody can get trained on and do, without having any prior education or experience. But like, how long? Does anybody know how long it's been since the federal minimum wage has gone up? I feel like it's been $7.25 for a while now.
It's been 18 years.
It's been many, many years. Let's see.
2009.
There we go. Since 2009.
I mean, what is it saying that the minimum wage should be 10.10 to tie with the inflation index? That's crazy.
It says Barack Obama, he tried raising it to that in 2014. It didn't
so it would be higher than that. That's the other thing, though, is like, I believe that wage should somewhat keep up with inflation, but it straight up won't, and I don't think it ever will. But I think it should at least get, like, people who are kind of stuck living in federal minimum wage states that don't have an option of moving out to move to a place that will pay higher. I just think it should be a little more fair for them so they have a little bit more of a chance.
I mean, for me, like, first off, the minimum wage, it's not meant for people to live off of.
Right.
I'm not even sure what the point of it is, really. And, like, I can't even imagine what kind of a person it is that literally gets stuck at minimum wage. Like, you have to truly be not attempting at all to improve your circumstances to even accidentally find yourself stuck at minimum wage.
Exactly. So, I mean, just in the case of, I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, I gave my reason.
Let's see what else we got. Should there be more restrictions on the current process of purchasing a gun?
I don't know what the current restrictions are, but I'm pretty sure it's like background check, passing like a gun safety class and all that.
I believe, let's see, in Oregon, you guys just passed a ballot initiative that made it harder. So yeah, I think it's a really heavy background check. There is mandatory safety things. I think you guys maybe even just voted on adding like psychological testing or some shit.
Probably. I mean, I do believe guns are a really heavy topic. I don't think there should be more restrictions, though. I think there are ones that matter in place already.
Okay. I like no only for criminals and mentally ill, because the way it's phrased makes it sound like they're saying only criminals and the mentally ill should have guns.
That's a pretty decent idea, honestly.
Which one of these are you feeling, Dillyn?
Increased penalties for gun-related crimes if we're going to get any more specific.
That makes sense to me.
It's like a driver's license thing.
Sure. Should teachers be allowed to carry...
Tanner, how about you, Jackson?
I'm sorry.
Free reign. Free reign. Murder should be legal.
Jackson
the government should give people guns for Christmas.
I think you should literally be born and be given a gun. That's just me.
You should pop out the womb and be packing heat.
Exactly.
Yeah, be told about racism and also packing heat.
Hey, the entire country is out to get you because of your skin color. Here's a gun.
Jesus Christ.
Should teachers be allowed to carry guns at school?
Can you open the more stances tab?
Let's see what we got.
I mean, that's really weird, because the one that says yes, schools should require at least one teacher or security guard to be armed, and the one that says no, hire professionally trained security guards instead. Those are essentially the same thing.
True.
As for maybe armed teacher, though, I don't know. I think I would say no, hire professionally trained security guards instead. I really don't think, like, you're already going to have police officers sanctioned in a city. I don't think it's going to be too much more expensive to put them on post at a school.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Like, I know Dayton, for whatever reason, actually had a police officer, and he had his own office at the school. And then, like, I don't know when, but he disappeared at some point, so we just got rid of him. So I don't know why or when we did that, but it made sense to have a cop there. I don't know. Didn't make me feel
we had
unsafe.
a school resource officer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't remember his
I don't
name.
know why we don't do that now. That makes the most sense to me, especially at this point, but
I mean, law schools still do that.
I hope so.
Should victims of gun violence be allowed to sue firearms dealers and manufacturers?
No. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
That's like people blaming the spoon for making them fat.
And the soup is the bullet. Should the president be able to authorize military force against Al-Qaeda without congressional approval?
Yeesh. Parts of me wants to say yes, but parts of me also wants to say no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hesitating on the yes because I feel like if I say yes, there's like, oh man, I don't know why you would have said that.
Al-Qaeda is a fucking orphanage.
I'm gonna, fuck it. I'll just say yes.
Okay. I'm on the side of no, but that's only if we could make it so that Congress is efficient enough that we could actually get them together and, actually able to make decisions quickly,
That might be why I was hesitating.
That's what executive orders are for, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Should the U.S. assassinate suspected terrorists in foreign countries?
Suspected terrorists?
Yeah, in foreign countries.
I don't think we should kill somebody on the terms of prospect of maybes. I think we should do that on the terms of definites. Or else we're just
I'd agree with
creating a big old problem.
Should the government increase or decrease military spending?
Isn't it fine where it's at?
There you go.
There we go.
They have an option for everything.
I think I don't know. I think we should make it as efficient as possible, and then we can assess whether it needs to be decreased or it's fine where it is.
Yeah.
Should foreign terrorism suspects be given constitutional rights?
Like, is it saying that this terrorist is within the U.S. borders?
I assume it's something like let's say they got arrested and they're sitting in Guantanamo Bay.
That's in America, right?
No, that's in Cuba.
Cuba's not a territory of the U.S., so I think it should fall under the jurisdiction of the country that they're in.
Even if they're being held by America?
But they're not on U.S. soil.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where I stand on that one. I'm like 50-50.
That's a little weird.
Should the military be allowed to use enhanced interrogation techniques such as waterboarding to gain information from suspected terrorists?
Sure, why not?
Dillyn is pro-torture. I did not see that one coming.
He's
hey,
full
man,
of
The man's a
surprises.
pacifist, Tanner, didn't you know?
I mislabeled myself. We've gone over this.
Okay.
I like to think of it more as adverse to violence or conflict.
Well, if they're a terrorist, fuck them.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay. So we're almost at the end here, guys.
Here we go.
Let's see. What's your zip code?
97229.
You just dox yourself down. I cannot believe it.
They're gonna find us now with a fucking
Aye.
gun.
Whom would you most like Whom would you most like to run for president in 2024, Dillyn?
Ben Shapiro.
We got Ron DeSantis, Pete Buttigieg, that guy, Mark Cuban, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Gavin Newsom, Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, Ben Shapiro, or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah, exactly.
Guys, I don't know who people are.
Any of them? You know
I mean,
who some of them
I know
are.
who some of these people are, but the ones I do know, I don't want to vote for.
Okay. Let's see, is there none of the... Oh, jeez,
this
it's
did
just
not
more
help
names.
at all. This made it so much worse.
How about Vermin Supreme? We'll put you down for him.
Oh yeah, Vermin Supreme. He's
Sure.
sure. You'd like him.
Sure, yeah,
Where's
I don't
Brent
know.
Peterson? Why isn't Brent
Look,
Peterson
we got
on this
all
list?
of the Pauls.
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin? Yeah, we can do that.
Second column, fourth down.
There we go. You don't know who Sarah Palin is?
The name sounds familiar.
Skip all these, Tanner. Skip them. We don't care.
Yeah, sure.
Show
How
my
about this one?
results.
You're right. We'll do that.
There we go.
Let's. All right, there you go. That was your civics lesson. Now you know America, and now it's going to tell you what party you're most aligned with, Dillyn.
I'm concerned.
Don't be.
Why are you concerned?
I don't know. It could be bad or good, but I know it's all opinion based, so it's not objectively true at all.
Sure. No thanks.
Oh, the website.
I just wanna see the results. There you go. See, you're most aligned with Mark Cuban.
Is that? I don't know what that means.
Now let's see. Here we go. My parties. Here we go. Interesting. The American Solidarity Party.
Holy shit.
Interesting.
Is this is this good or is this bad?
Dillyn's a socialist. That's crazy.
Uh-oh. Wait, no, socialist is down there.
Huh? Oh, well, this one's also kind of socialist though.
Yeah, democratic socialism.
He got the most different from any of us. Also, he's kind of like middle of the road on everything.
I really don't
that's
care,
how mine
man.
was as well.
I think yours
Republican is
leaned
higher
a bit
than
more.
all the other stuff, though.
True.
I
Except
don't
for
know.
these three.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, peace and freedom sounds good to me.
I mean,
Libertarian
you're
is based, bro.
yeah, you're a real independent, you know.
Is that? I mean, American Solidarity doesn't sound bad.
You'd
It's
think
not a
so.
real party, but
I don't know what that means.
when did the libertarians change their thing so that the flame is now a little eagle? I like that.
I like it.
That's fun.
So, am I in the green or am I bad?
No, I think you kind of just take issues one by one without having an overarching ideology, honestly.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
that kind of basically explains my whole life.
Let's see what I don't even know what this party is, but let's see what it says about them. Oh, well,
You'll never know.
how about this? Does this have it? Oh, interesting. Okay, so they're like center rightish. Why is
That's
this like an
kinda-
opposite one?
That's kind of where I placed when I think me and Nico and Jackson took a test before, and I think that's about where I placed.
Well,
I
no,
think I was a
because
little
this
closer
one's
to the center.
reverse. The one you took had libertarian on the bottom and authoritarian on the top.
Weird. I was
Very
definitely closer to the
interesting.
center though in that one.
Well, I think it's saying this right here is you and this is them.
Oh, so I'm
Or
still
something.
good then.
No, that's like about where you were in the other one, Dylan.
I mean, if it was
Oh,
flipped,
boy.
then yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will say these are unexpected results, in my opinion. Very interesting to find out.
I guess that's good.
Very
But
interesting.
yeah, do you feel like you know everything you could possibly need to know about politics now, Dillyn?
As far as politics go, I got real scared there at the end, but I also went in. I came out of this thinking I know more than I think I let on, except for definitions and stuff. That's still a little bit of a meh. But it sounds like my ideas and thought processes are somewhat on track with other people's, so that's okay.
Sounds good to me. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on another wonderful episode of Guapish. Please go check out our Patreon, where for only $1 you can get all of our episodes early, get access to the pre and post squad, get 500 slime coin, get your name read randomly during the episode, and we'll let you into the Discord where you can like send us dick pics. Bye-bye.
Bye.